Hi everyone, welcome to Legally Yours. We've got a little bit of a different episode here today. So we are with the wonderful Ragare Gomo, and I thought this would be a great opportunity for us to get to know Ragare a bit better, but you've got an amazing story to tell, and I think it's one that needs to be shared. So over to you, Ragare.
Thank you. It's always a privilege to be with you, Karen, and so thank you so much for the opportunity and a platform to share my story,
Well, it's really
to the world.
Yes.
So a bit about myself. My name is Rugare, and I'm from Zimbabwe originally, and I came to Australia by myself when I was 16 years old. And that was inside of a vision to get an education I would not have had in Zimbabwe. So the person you're talking to right now isn't the person who arrived in Australia.
Wow. Well, describe that person to me.
The person who arrived in Australia, I was shy,
Oh.
I was quiet,
Yes.
I wasn't even comfortable in my own skin.
Oh.
We grew up in Zimbabwe where white is better than black, and we're trained that as a black person you have to work 10 times harder. So for myself, I was like, oh, I'm inferior, but I didn't even know I was saying that to myself.
So
it's in my actions, in how I experienced my life.
Wow.
But Australia really helped me to go beyond all of those limiting beliefs about myself, and also the lies, of the culture or society or the background that I grew up in. And so I'm really grateful for that. But that all showed up inside of fulfilling on my vision of getting an education. So as you can imagine, growing up in Zimbabwe, I didn't come from a wealthy family or whatsoever. And a family friend said, yes, why not? And so they went to schools here in Melbourne. The school gave me a part scholarship, Kingswood College. This friend paid for my school fees, paid for my flights, and I stayed at their place. And my entire life is altered.
Wow.
My entire life is altered.
So the action of one person
Yes.
seeing a spark in you, but you also having the courage
Yes.
to reach out and
Correct.
say, I want this,
Yes.
has altered. And we've got the man that we have
Completely.
today. That is phenomenal. So you've arrived in Melbourne, you're 16.
Yes.
You've got all these sort of mindset and beliefs about
Yes.
yourself. How did that process work for you to start disentangling all those?
So it was really the purpose. So in Zimbabwe, there was no food. The universities of Zimbabwe were closed. And so it was survival. My context then was survival. I have to make it here. Now, inside of that, there were actions then I had to take. That means I had to learn how to talk to people. I had to learn to share my vision and have people say, yes, I'm going to support you. To go to university, my uncle could not afford to pay for my fees. I call him an uncle, my family friend. So, I raised over 120,000 Australian dollars to go to university.
My goodness.
And that was hard.
Okay.
But to be able to do that, I had to connect with people.
Okay.
And Melburnians and Australians were contributing money to me, and I was like so grateful for the gift that I was being given. So I was like, if people are giving me money, how else can I give back to them?
Okay.
So I started taking on things in my life that I would not take on. I started a newsletter, I'd take on roles at university that were leadership roles, even though I was scared to acknowledge the contribution and that I was not wasting my opportunity that they had given me. I created an internship in France for 6 months where my school fees in Australia covered all my accommodation, my school fees. I arranged an internship in Brussels for myself where it got paid for. So I started doing all these things outside who I knew myself to be. And every step gave me confidence, and I started discovering that I'm worthy because I'm just human. I don't need any external circumstance to determine whether I'm worthy. I'm already perfect and whole and complete, exactly the way I am and the way I'm not.
That's absolutely, it's imperfectly perfect.
Completely.
It's a thing that I love to.
And I just want every single human being to get that you are exactly perfect, exactly the way you are and the way you're not. You don't have to be any particular way. And so once I got that for myself, I got that anything's possible.
Okay.
Anything
Amazing.
is possible.
Amazing. And what I love about that story is that it was the actions of others that propelled you and forced you
Yes.
really to get out of that comfort zone. Because I
Yes.
think we've talked about it before, as human beings we love to stay in our comfort zone. It's very safe. I don't have to stretch myself. I don't have to be scared. But once you actually push yourself beyond that, opportunities come and it's
Completely.
limitless, and then what you can then share. And I love the fact that now we sit here with you today and now you're helping others find their purpose. So
Yes.
was that quite a thing that came out of your kind of road to here to really, that's your purpose? Like,
Completely.
let's talk about your purpose.
So my passion is that I help people bring their dreams to life. You know, I say that my life is not my own, it's the community's. There's a real conversation in the world that we have to be independent, like really independent. Now, I want you to know that it actually takes more courage to be vulnerable and have people contribute to you in life than really being independent. It's easy to be independent, actually. And so inside of my purpose and getting that, you know, my life isn't my own, I thought, how can we provide that to many other people? So I created the GOMO Foundation, where we provide scholarships for girls to go to secondary school in Zimbabwe. So right now we have 7 girls who are in school in Zimbabwe and 1 girl as well at university right now. And you know, my vision is that, you know, maybe one of those girls, you know, if we unlock their mind, they'll create, you know, technology for blind people to see, or find the cure for cancer because they had an opportunity. You know, GOMO, giving others more opportunities. That's what, you know, GOMO means in that regard. So my whole life is used to help people bring their dreams to life, in essence, and that's why I'm a high performance coach.
Yes, I love it. And I do love, I was lucky enough to come to one of the GOMO Foundation events.
Yes.
And I have to say, one of the big things that I got out of that was that I think often we feel a little bit helpless, that we're not quite sure how to help or what to do. And so then it gets all confusing and people kind of are rendered a little bit powerless. And what I loved so much about the GOMO Foundation is you do it in such a way that there's a direct impact. We can see exactly what we're doing, and you know, it's those 7 girls and we're watching their journey happen, and it's the most incredible, beautiful thing. And I think you're right, you can see the hunger in their eyes to understand that they want to do something greater than themselves, which is what you were given and what you're giving back, which is incredibly wonderful.
Thank you.
So yeah, go, you
Like,
finish.
you know, like for Cecilia, one of the girls we sponsor, Cecilia, we've been sponsoring her for 4 years. Her parents died from HIV and AIDS. She was an orphan when she did her year 12. And it was Crossread Investment that approached me when I was 27 years old. I was like, and they asked me, can you sponsor? And I'm like, I don't have the money to do that.
Yes.
I'm like, not under my watch is that girl not going to school.
Yes.
So I came back, she had a story, you know, people rose up to contribute to her university education. And this is what she actually said. She says, I want you to know that I now know that I'm no longer inferior, and that no matter all the other girls that I know, I'm going to show them that they don't have to feel ashamed or that they're worthless, and that anything is possible for them. And this is a girl who's lost her parents.
Yes.
And when I met her, she was in the fields of Zimbabwe living on food handouts.
Oh, God.
And that's her story, that's her stand.
Yes, and how beautiful, because you said it initially about the community, and you know, it's easy to live independently, and I worry about myself and I worry about my family and my business, and this is the way it is. But when you become part of a community, there becomes that sense of responsibility to step up for others as well, and set the example and look after the whole community.
Yes.
What a wonderful way to live. So particularly with all the sorts of things that we've got going on in the world at the moment, what a beautiful message. Thank you for sharing your purpose.
Thank you.
Personally, I think you're one of the most inspiring people I've ever had the privilege of sitting down with, and your energy and your absolute altruism of trying to get people to be their best, and watching them do that is magnificent. So thank you so much. We're so lucky to have you here.
Thank you so much, Karen.
And if you would like to get in contact with Rugari Gomo, know more about his story, or contact him for his high performance coaching services, please head to our website at legallyyours.com.au, or you can email us at info@legallyyours. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Karen.